reward you with money, we also educate you. All right? So you learn something new on Jitney
I
242.
learned something on Jitney 242.
Oh, for sure. All right, the next question now, my brother. 2 strikes against you. All right? 1 more strike and you're out. Remember to use your lifelines, 50-50 or your mobile phone a friend, okay? All right. The company Movado is best known for making, would it be A, cars, B, yachts, C, watches, or D, men's suits?
See watches.
C, watches. You look like you're wearing a Movado right now. That's quite right, my friend. You just want some money. You just want some more cold hard cash added to your pot. And we move to the next question. Here we go. In the movie The Godfather, the term going to the mattresses means that a mafia family is about to A, go to war with another crime family, B, give up their life of crime, C, return to the country of their forefather, or D, use some of the savings they have kept. A.
Go to war with another family.
Go to war, final answer. Very good, my friend. That is right. You've just won yourself some more money. Your pot increases as you get closer to your destination. All right. Next question. The Dundas Center for the Performing Arts was formerly a school of hospitality known as A, the Dundas Civic Center, B, the Dundas Day School, C, the National Hotel Institute, or D, the Mackey Street Training Center.
Is it a hotel performing arts center?
Pardon me?
I got call somebody there.
You call somebody. You want to do a mobile shout-out?
Mobile shout out.
BTC will appreciate that right now. Who we calling?
Shantavia.
Shantavia.
Hello.
Hi, Shantavia.
Hi.
How you doing today? Good. My name is Jacozy, and I'm the host of the new game show called Jitney 242. And I have here with me your friend, what's your name?
Samuel Penman.
Samuel Penman. And he has got himself into a little jam and needs your help. All right?
Okay.
Now, he's stuck on a question. Let's see if you can answer the question for him. The question reads, the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts was formerly known as the School of Hospitality as A, the Dundas Civic Center, B, the Dundas Day School, C, the National Hotel Institute, or D, the Mackey Street Training Center.
The Martin Street,
You think it's Mackey Street Training Center?
I guess.
You guess. All right. She's guessing it's the Mackey Street Training Center. What say you? You agree with her answer, or do you want to think yes, something else?
I agree with that answer.
You agree with her answer? Okay, he's going to agree with you. And I want you to know, by way of phone, that you helped slaughter this man, because that was the wrong answer. It was the Dundas Civic Center. All right? All right.
Okay.
Thanks very much for playing. All right. That's 2 strikes, 3 strikes. Where we at? That's 3 strikes. My friend, Penman, thanks for playing. That's 3 strikes and you're out. But the good side of it is, you leave with a vitamin, you get a free bus ride. All right? That ain't bad to playing Jitney 242. All right. Thanks very much, my brother. Next time on the Jitney 242 ride, I don't know who it could be. Maybe it could be you.
watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the nation's leader on Grand Bahama to officially open Elnett Maritime Center. Also, a national drill exercise testing the country's response in the event of a terrorist attack or major threat. And an attorney weighing in on the conversation of marital rape. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Roll-Farkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, on Grand Bahama for the opening of the Elnett Maritime Center. During a press briefing, CEO Albert Hepburn telling those in attendance that this dream was birthed at the age of 28. Also, he credited the father of the nation, the former Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Pinling's bend or break speech as his source of motivation.
Explain my vision and my dream of owning and creating an exclusive boutique-style marine ship agency. Before leaving that meeting, they co-signed, and I got agreements from some of the world's top oil majors, such as Vitol, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, Phillips 66. That culture that Sir Lyndon Pinling created is the reason we are here today. This journey here that my family and I have embarked on some 14 years ago has been an inspiration to us, has been an inspiration to family, and has been an inspiration to friends and even strangers. But if you were to take anything from this, what we've done here today to this point and what we're going to do in the future, take this. If you dream it and you believe it, you can definitely do it.
Minister for Transport and Housing JoBeth Colby, along with the Minister for Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie, also congratulating the successful young businessman on presenting many employment opportunities for many Bahamians, adding that the new center will also serve as a warehouse and logistics facility.
I'm advised that this center during the construction phase has created over 125 jobs, and now in operation will allow for the creation of 50 to 100 new jobs, a significant boost for the economy of Grand Bahama. It is no secret that Grand Bahama has endured many challenges over the last few years. However, the opening of this center is a step in the right direction for the island. The Bahamas is a maritime nation. According to the Bahamas Maritime Authority, the industry contributes an estimate 14 to 18% of gross domestic product. The Bahamas Ship Registry is comprised of over 1,500 ships, which includes cruise ships, tankers, general cargo ships, and other totaling over 60 million gross tonnage, making our registry among the top 10 largest in the world.
I would like to personally thank you, Ali, for partnering with Team Pine Ridge on Maritime 101, which will give young people first-hand knowledge of the tremendous opportunities available in the maritime industry. I would also like to salute the amazing staff of Elnett for the stellar work that they do.
And the nation's leader, Prime Minister Philip Davis, also marking this moment of success as a notable one for Elnett Maritime, as he says, despite challenges, he has persisted.
Apart from the more usual financial challenges and obstacles that ambitious projects encounter, not many ventures have had to overcome the challenges presented by a Category 5 hurricane, a global pandemic, and a generational surge in inflation. In this context, your success is all the more remarkable. And I congratulate you on this exceptional achievement. In fact, your vision, ambition, and progress to date have already singled you out as among the best of us.
Now, our Jamila Mizik was at the Elnett Maritime ribbon cutting ceremony, and she will have a full report in tomorrow evening's newscast. Well, the nation's leader says an investigation has been launched on a number of pandemic spending programs under the former Minnis administration, among them the Food Assistance Program. The nation's leader says there has been some startling results during a period in the pandemic when Bahamians were struggling to feed themselves and their families, adding that several NGOs failed to utilize their full allocation.
What is the point of holding on to funds when there was such a huge need to feed our people? And if the funds were available, why was better quality food not provided to all Bahamians? We all remember the complaints of those who, week after week, had a diet imposed on them of little more than corned beef and rice. Madam Speaker, these NGOs were holding on to substantial amounts of cash. In one case, one had close to $2 million sitting in their bank accounts. Why? These amounts have since been returned, as I mentioned, as we have demanded, but this fact, coupled with extremely poor record keeping, which characterize all elements of this program, leaves one to question what exactly was the true purpose of this program.
The Prime Minister Davis also adding that some of the NGOs have since returned funds since inquiries have begun, but he also says that there has also been poor record keeping and the failure to provide real information, including here on Grand Bahama.
The program was run out of the political office of the then Minister for Grand Bahama, and no real cooperation has been forthcoming. Madam Speaker, the Bahamian people deserve answers, and steps have and will be taken to ensure that those responsible will be held accountable.
Now, the food program ended in September 2021. Well, the Ministry of Transport conducting an international ship and port facility exercise throughout the country today. Officials say the objective was to test the response of national security teams in the event of a terrorist attack or major threat. As Ramiko Knowles tells us, shortly after 10 a.m., officials responded to a call of an explosion at Bahama Rock Limited, and that is when the drill commenced.
I heard an explosion coming from the magazine area. I can also see a fire, and it looks like 10 to 12 employees may be injured.
A message received by a port facility officer detailing the incident on the grounds of Bahama Rock Limited. Although it was only a drill, officials made the exercise as realistic as possible. Several employees of Bahama Rock were laying on the ground, pretending as if they were injured from the explosion. Food coloring was used on their clothing to replicate blood. The first responders were employees of the facility. Utility and Inventory Supervisor Brian Burrows says he is pleased with the response.
Oh, we was well pleased with the way how they responded. Whenever we do have an incident at the quarry at Bahama Rock, all of our employees would come to that area of wherever the emergency may be, and that's exactly what happened today. A number of our employees, they responded. They noticed that some of their co-workers was injured, and they started to comfort some, and some who needed a CPR and needed to use the AED that was also administered by our employees.
Safety training meetings are conducted at the facility every month, as well as first aid training. After assessing the scene, emergency response teams were called in. Shortly after 10:30 a.m., media received a report from police officials of an explosion at Bahama Rock and confirmed that some persons were injured. Officers from the Royal Bahamas Police Force arrived, followed by Defense Force officers, emergency medical services, and officers from the fire department. Assistant Superintendent of Police Teresita Pinder explains the protocols for officers in the event of an explosion.
A bomb exploded, so our first initial contact would have been persons from our bomb expert unit, fire department, CID, scenes of crime, all the relevant parties we need on the scene right away. That was done. Our response times was good. Explosive experts came on scene, ascertained that there was a device there. They checked to make sure all was clear before officers can come on and ascertain and investigate the situation. That was done. The all clear was given.
At the end of the exercise, officials will meet and an overall assessment will be given.
And all parties, Bahama Rock and all other parties, will now assess and see what changes need to be made and what procedures we need to put in place. That's the whole point of having a mock demonstration.
As an exercise in real life situation, it could take even longer, but this exercise would prepare us for a real life situation. So there's really no goal time, but we're able to record the time that they do respond. And so we would know in the event that if there really is an emergency, the time that we may expect, or even an improvement on the time that they'll be here to assist us.
Now, officials say this drill was planned months ago and that it is not in response to the ongoing war. Romiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Miko. Well, police officials continuing their investigations into the island's latest murder. The victim has been identified by family members as 39-year-old Valentino Boleg. According to reports, police were called to a business establishment in the West End community on Sunday, where there were reports of an altercation involving a group of persons that led to Boleg being shot to the upper thigh. The injured man was taken to the West End Community Clinic via private vehicle and later succumbed to his injuries. Now, 3 males and a female remain in custody, assisting police with this investigation. And as the discussion continues nationwide on the question of whether or not non-consensual sex within marriage should be considered rape, tonight a local attorney is lending her voice to this issue. Jamila Mizik reports.
The issue of marital rape remains a hot-button topic as there continues to be mixed reviews about whether or not a husband or wife can rape their spouse. And as it relates to marital rape, attorney-at-law Constance McDonald QC says persons tend to focus on the end result as opposed to the root cause of these problems.
I do matrimonial law, and I sometimes wonder why some people get married. They're obviously incompatible. They can't get along. Didn't you have counseling before you got married? I mean, you needed to discuss these things.
McDonald says she believes it is important to focus on the underlying causes for these issues.
And I really don't believe that imposing a lot of sanctions and strict penalties solves the problem. It just makes it so that persons do things where they think they will not get caught. I think we need to deal with the underlying reasons. And I think it has also to do with the power struggle in the marriage and one spouse believing that, because if you have a marriage where persons are friends and they're compatible, you should never have to be even dealing with something like marital rape. So let's fix the problem.
And she says before persons begin to talk about marital rape, there is a need to discuss relationships and how persons relate to one another as human beings.
It's how we view each other. Do you view me as just a sex object that you could have whenever you want to? Is that how you view your wife? Is that how you view your spouse? Or do you see me as a human being, a person with feelings, who sometimes may be emotionally not in a particular mood or something like that? And do you have any understanding of me as a woman?
McDonald says she believes that before getting married, persons should first examine themselves. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of Health reporting 3 new COVID-19 cases yesterday, 2 in New Providence and 1 in Eleuthera. The total number of COVID-19 cases in the country since the pandemic is 33,188. Overall, there are 10 hospitalizations with 4 in Grand Bahama. 3 of that number are moderately ill and 1 remain in the intensive care unit. That's going to take us to our first break. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Come on down. Come on down.
Scene Beauty Supplies is on the go. Freeport's very own Mobile Beauty Supplies offers the best prices on hair. From singles to bundles, closures, and frontals, it's Be Seen Beauty Supplies. Call 828-8441.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Save the date, March 17th through March 21st. Buy two, get one free at Pandora, Port Lucayo. Over 1,000 styles to choose from at Pandora.
At Pizza Hut, we believe in pizza and good deals. Enjoy 2 large one-topping pizzas for only $24.65, VAT inclusive. Call us downtown at 352-9191 or East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500 to order your 2 delicious Pizza Hut pizzas with your favorite toppings. Available for dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. Order 2 large one-topping pizzas at Pizza Hut.
Well, CrossFit Island 2 for 2, right, has been in the community now for about 8 years. So we're in our new space. It's 6,000 square feet. It's very comfortable. And we offer more amenities than ever before. So CrossFit is a combination of 3 different disciplines, where it's metabolic conditioning, so it's like cardio. We do gymnastics work, so push-ups, pull-ups, things of that nature. And then also weight training, where we do Olympic lifts or compound movements. The biggest misconception of CrossFit is that you have to be some expert to do it, when really, your goal is to just get in shape and have fun in a community environment. We also have Crave Cafe, which is the premier cafe for boba teas and protein drinks on the island. We have supplements where you can buy. We also provide massage therapy, physical therapy as well, yoga, boxing, CrossFit. We also have some new things in the works. We're going to be expanding, and we're going to be having some more outdoor facilities. We are located in the wonderful Les Fountains. You can contact us at 727-4348.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy. When she licking her lips and moving them hips like, come here, baby. I wanna take it down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Today is World Kidney Day, a day celebrated globally in the month of March each year. The Kidney Center here on Grand Bahama promoting kidney health awareness through the theme, Bringing the Knowledge Gap to Kidney Care. Nurse Ashley Pinder says this day is very important, seeing the increase in patients here on the island.
At the center today, we have a full day of activities where we invite the public to come by and take a look at what we do, ask questions. There's going to be staff members there that you can mingle with, doctors on staff that you can ask questions. And anything in regards to your kidney health, anything in regards to what we do at the dialysis center, you're free to ask. In our country, in particular Grand Bahama, we see a large increase of patients diagnosed with kidney failure. And what we want to do, and this is being done worldwide, is to bring to the public the knowledge of preventing kidney failure in our population.
Nurse Pinder adds that this is nothing to take lightly and encourages persons to try and maintain good kidney health through these ways.
Exercise. I saying go in there and walk 3 and 4 hours, but go there and you exercise. You eat a well-balanced diet. Right? Control and take your medication for high blood pressure. Take your medication for your sugar. And go and get your yearly checkups.
Now, for persons interested in learning more about kidney health, you can contact the Kidney Center at 352-2711 or 352-7146. And that is a look at stories making news. Here is a check on what's happening with sports with our Ramiko Knowles.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your #1 source for sports in the North. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports, the rebirth of the Grand Bahama Games is planned for this summer. The planning committee hosting a press conference at the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King. Jay Philippe was there.
Great news for sports for Grand Bahama and Bimini. Deputy Director for Sports for the Northern Bahamas, Norris Bain, making the announcement.
The Grand Bahama Games are back, and we have scheduled the Grand Bahama Games to take place July 5th through the 9th here on the island. We are also proud to announce that for the first time that there will be an all Bimini Games. Bimini has organized herself into put together quite a team to make sure that the Bimini Games come off. And in Grand Bahama, we have put together some veteran persons as it relates to athletics and the administration of sports here on the island.
Chairing the committee for the Grand Bahama Games is sports icon and living legend himself, Churchill Tanner Knowles.
We are endeavoring now to canvass the entire Grand Bahama community and see if we could actually put together again the games that we had in the past. Very exciting games. I'm sure all of you who are part of that remember how exciting those games was here on Grand Bahama.
Now, according to Knowles, all the core sports, including softball, baseball, basketball, track and field tennis, volleyball, and other sports, will be included in this year's games. The last time the Grand Bahama Games was held was 2005. So if you need to get yourself in shape, then you have 3 months to make it happen. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Total Sports.
Switching gears now, Sunland Stingers had their day at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. Head coaches Marco Carey and Charlene Hamilton tells us how that day went.
You know, it's been a long time coming, and the kids, they were pretty much excited the entire day. We saw some great things, despite not being able to run for a long period of time. And so we're looking forward to more sports.
We worked with them during our class time. We had a few students who we worked with after school, so the preparation was very good. Island sports, we're hoping to have island sports, so we want to choose our top athletes during the meet. That's what we actually did, and go back and see a little brushing up that we need to do so that we can get them prepared for primary school island sports.
And that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Are you ready to step out with designer shoes or handbags? Visit Steppin' Out. They've relocated at number 4 Old Sam's Plaza. Stepping out when you want to put your best foot forward.
The port is coming to you. No barriers, no walls. Calling all voices to join us for our quarterly expo, Port Community Talk. You want to hear from us? Here we are. Let's talk about it.
During the month of March from 3 to 4 p.m. daily, it's the after-school $5 fix at Shape Your Crepe. All schools qualify. Call 688-4273 for more information.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Alive brings to you the iPhone 12 64 gigs for $249 when you switch to Alive postpaid. Alive, believe in best.
Hey there, welcome to Health Bites, where each and every week we give you a helpful tip to help you on your health and fitness journey. We're here at the Fitness Connection in the Raven Mall, and today I want to give you 3 exercises that you can do at home. The first exercise we're going to talk about is called a thruster. You can take some dumbbells like these, hold them up here, you're going to go down into a squat, and then up into a shoulder press, and repeat. You want to try to get between 15 and 20 reps to this exercise. Also, a pro tip, if you don't have dumbbells, you can grab a handy-dandy water bottle or a towel or something else and hold them up and squat and press, squat and press. So you don't need weights to start, and if that's too hard, then you can just do it without the weights. Exercise number 2 is for your core. We're going to do a simple plank. You're going to place your forearms on the ground right below your chest. Get your body straight. Keep your hips elevated. You don't want to sag like this. Keep them nice and straight. Now, while you do this, you're going to feel your core burning. You might start some shaking. You want to make sure you push as hard as you can to get past the time you did last time. You did 30 seconds, try to get 40. You did 40, try to get a minute. Just keep pushing it. All right, third exercise, we're gonna work some more legs. We're gonna do some lunges. Lunges are good for your quads, your glutes. You can do them in place like this. Or you can do walking lunges where you step, step, and keep it going. A lot of these exercises you can do with or without weights, but if you want to add weights, make it a lot more challenging, especially as you get stronger. We have them here available at the Fitness Connection. We're located in the Raven Mall, also in Nassau and Sea Grapes and Blake Road. Come check us out.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Reconstrip, show me emotion. Hey, wine and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Melanie Payne, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We appreciate your support. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Roll-Farkas, in the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, closing revenue gaps. Port security put to the test. A giant on the seas sails into its golden jubilee. And coaches lend support to island athletes. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. You can chalk it up to just what the country needs. A cruising giant today committed an injection of hundreds of millions of dollars in investments as the country poises itself for a robust COVID rebound.
And I'm excited to share, as we look toward the future, it is bright for Carnival in the Bahamas.
Carnival Cruise Line, no stranger to the Bahamas, having brought millions of guests here and, by extension, having pumped millions of dollars into the local economy. And as its president, Christine Duffy, on Thursday foreshadowed, things are about to get better.
With the committed support of government leaders and agencies, we are currently working on advancing 2 major projects. I would like to say thank you to all who are here, who have supported us on this important journey so far. Representing a $200 million investment, the Grand Bahama Cruise Port will offer guests a spectacular beachfront and exciting Bahamian experiences. The port will offer many job opportunities, including the chance for local entrepreneurs to feature Bahamian food and retail items.
Carnival also plans $100 million of enhancements for St. Salvador. Duffy says the project will include a new marina and pier to accommodate larger ships like its new flagship Mardi Gras, inaugurated last year. And Carnival Celebration still to be unveiled. Combined, the Half Moon Cay and Grand Bahama projects are expected to employ an estimated 1,000 full-time workers. Such news as the Bahamas pulled out all the stops for a cruising partner it's stuck with through prosperity and lean years, adversity and recovery. The city centre coming alive this morning with the sounds of local entertainers, a performance from the Defence Force Band, a live straw doll, Miss Universe Bahamas, a Junkanoo rush out, and a cake cutting as the largest cruise line Carnival kicked off its 50th birthday. Offering up congratulations, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis touted the company as a stellar example of what successful geographically diverse investments can look like.
As my administration seeks to expand the blue economy and increase local opportunities within the sector, that investments like these operate at the intersection of tourism and the blue economy, allowing us to leverage our coasts and waters for the mutual benefit of our people and investors alike. These kinds of investments are what will allow us to take our first steps confidently into a robust and sustainable development of our blue resources.
With that, the Prime Minister expressed hope of continued successes as the two move forward. Now, speaking of cruise lines, we can tell you this evening that Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's not on the short list to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort. You may recall the Davis administration last December canceled the sale of the Grand Bahama Resort to RCL and the ITM Group. That was followed up by a request for proposal exercise that closed March 2nd. Here's RCL CEO Michael Bailey on the company's decision.
We had a great ambition for Grand Lucayan, and then the pandemic hit, and of course things changed quite dramatically. We're still hopeful and committed to being part of a project in the long run for Freeport, obviously, and we're in discussions with the government. We're in other discussions with other future partners.
Tourism, Investments and Aviation and Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, initially disclosed that the government is hoping to lock in $150 million for the all-inclusive property. But when questioned further today, he opted out of revealing exactly what's on the table.
And I anticipate that by the 17th of March, when I speak at Grand Bahama Business Outlook, we will have an opportunity to make a further statement. As it stands, we do have several very credible offers, and that's all I can say today, subject to the confidentiality of the matter. I can tell you that the government of the Bahamas has invested $150 million into the property, and we're going to seek the best possible outcome for the Bahamian people.
The aviation minister also responding to a demonstration air traffic controller staged, dismissing claims that the department is understaffed.
We are confident that the air traffic control room is well staffed with competent Bahamians who love our country the way we do. They did have some administrative concerns regarding some internal matters. They demonstrated. We believe that the matter is at hand and will be resolved in due course. I want to add that there has not been any interruption to services, and I want to emphasize that notwithstanding some labor concerns, the air traffic controllers are great Bahamians. They love our Bahamas, and they recognize the importance of the tourism industry and the aviation sector to our country.
In other national news tonight, with millions owed in outstanding taxes, the government's moving to restore the health of public finances. And to do so, it's identifying and closing the significant gaps in key revenue streams. During the mid-year budget presentation yesterday, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis revealed several administrative reforms to improve revenue collection. One of them, the possible establishment of a large taxpayers unit.
Establishing a LTU would, one, stabilize the collection of a large portion of national revenue collections, bringing predictability to revenue planning, enhance compliance and improve service to taxpayers that provide the vast majority of revenues. 3, make more efficient use of limited resources. And finally, compensate for weaknesses in tax administration capacity. This is a significant reform, as currently the department has about $900 million in outstanding taxes. The vast majority of these taxes are owed by a relatively small group of businesses.
The Prime Minister, meantime, slamming the former administration in the area of accountability and transparency, two key tenets of good governance. During the mid-year budget presentation in the House of Assembly, he referred to the pre-election report left in place by the F&M that discloses arrears, unpaid bills, and other unbudgeted financial obligations. And according to the Prime Minister, the report fell woefully short.
The former administration reported total arrears of $64.3 million and $108.8 billion in unpaid invoices, which totals $173.1 million. That's what they reported as their arrears. Upon coming to office in September, my administration engaged the accounting firm of Deloitte to review the contents of the previous administration's report to ensure that we had a true accounting of unpaid invoices and arrears that my government inherited as of 30th of September 2021. Madam Speaker, their findings are simply astounding. Wow. The previous administration failed to disclose significant liabilities and unfunded obligations of the government, totaling some $821.5 million, almost $1 billion.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Since eating at KFC, Shanika became the new savings meme. Get a KFC Mega Mash Bucket Meal with 8 pieces of tender, juicy chicken, a Mega Mashed Potato with gravy, and 4 buttery biscuits, starting at only $20, including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. Order on WhatsApp at 557-3663. KFC Nassau.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here.
So tight. Is she going to get there?
I believed in Tokyo, the belief that I could be, we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Shawnee Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
We all know how good food makes us feel. It's like the feeling you get on Bay. And at Popeyes, we give you that feeling because we know how to make good food. Our food is the food of joy and the joy of being alive despite hard times. We don't do boring or bland. We are proud and big-hearted and love sharing with you, our fans. We take pride in sharing. We always do it with love. And that's the Popeyes difference that you can taste in every bite.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
Russia's invasion of Ukraine should be an example of how the Bahamas, or any other country for that matter, could face a major disaster. That is, with a solid plan in place to fight. International reports today confirming that Russian forces continue to advance their troops outside Ukraine's capital. With that in mind, disaster scenarios played out across 6 islands today as the Ministry of Transport held its International Ship and Port Facility Security National Exercise. Cleopatra Murphy was stationed at the Emergency Operations Center here in New Providence.
The Bahamas is testing its ability to quickly respond to disastrous events and implement security plans in the event of a threat at one of its port facilities. According to Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commander Bertram Bowleg, the simulated disasters held in the capital at Arawak Port Development and at the Sun Oil facility at Clifton were all a part of an effort to ensure the country's port facilities maintain international ship and port facility security standard.
You have to maintain at least an 80% grade in the ISPS standard in order for our country to receive ships. If, God forbid, and the grade drops too low, then we might have an issue, the United States, we might have an issue with them allowing their ships to come to our shore. So we must ensure that we are able to protect their ships safely once they are in Bahamian waters.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport and Housing, Antoinette Thompson, says the exercise will also help to identify deficiencies, correct them, and mitigate threats to the country's ports and territories.
At the end of the day, we will know what courses of action to take. We would have lessons learned. We would know what direction we need to go with our advisory committee, how we need to improve, what other measures are needed, whether it's from an international perspective or from NGOs within the country.
Minister of Transport and Housing, the Honorable Jobeth Colby Davis, observed the Emergency Operations Center's response at the National Training Agency that she says will also assist in making any improvements, while Acting Port Controller Senior Commander Byrne Wright weighed in on the exercise.
The importance is for us to have response readiness at all of our international ports. In the event an incident was to occur on multiple occasions in various areas, we'd be able to have our response ready and be strengthened by what we say and what we do through our department, port department, and ISPS unit.
It's a matter of test and adjust. That is what we look forward to with this exercise and others.
This was the first time the country performed a national ISPS exercise, and these officials confirmed the lessons learned and data collected will be compiled to produce the first ISPS International Security Plan for the Bahamas. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Arawak Port development, the venue for the ISPS drill in the heart of Nassau. Altovise Munnings has the details.
It was exactly at 10:20 Thursday morning when a loud sound was heard at Arawak Port Development, resulting in a cloud of smoke emanating from the port's northeastern side. Port security officials responded to the scene and found a container under fire. Several people were discovered in the area, leading to 1 injury and 1 fatality. Prior to emergency and law enforcement officials arriving on the scene, APD's first responders rendered initial CPR and first aid services.
The incident this morning caused operations to cease in accordance with the directives issued by the ISPS coordinator, resulting in APD raising its security level to level 3. Our stakeholders and the public were affected. However, we remain committed in providing services needed and will have resumed operations.
Roll call ensured that Arawak Port Development employees were all accounted for. Many of them waited outside until the green light was given to return, while some were on their phones making important contact. These drills aren't new to port employees and stakeholders who feel it's an excellent safety and security mechanism.
I think the response time was awesome. We saw the fire truck and the ambulance and everybody within maybe 10 to 15 minutes of the alarm going off. We tend to have at least 1 to 2 fire drills a year. But it doesn't last this long. We normally, the alarm would go off and then in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'd be back in office.
According to Arawak Port Development's president, Dion Bethel, the drill will enable opportunities for change.
We look forward to having some feedback so that whatever enhancements that may need to be done, that we could do those efficiently and as soon as possible.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Well, we continue our coverage of today's ISPS exercise with this report from Charles Fisher at Clifton Pier.
On the most western end of the island is a busy hive, the Bahamas Power and Light Company that supply the entire Nassau, along with many of the petroleum stations and where the fuel tankers come in. A major explosion here, and the calls are out for help. Smoke fills the surrounding area. Also, keep in mind Clifton Pier, a very good distance away from where most of the emergency services are located. And just over 3 minutes after the first call, we are still waiting. Short time later, the first to arrive on the scene, Royal Bahamas Police Force and ambulance services. There seems to be 2 injured persons and they are checked over thoroughly. Defense Force officers are here to lock down the area. Later, fire services are on the scene and they are quick to work. Police and ambulance workers then get a quick report from the dock manager on just how things started and if there were any injuries.
The scene is safe then, dog. They declared the scene.
Tires burning, it's a chemical explosion. Chemical explosion? And that's 2 containers? That's 3 containers. 3 containers?
Half hour in, after the first call, everything seems to be calmed down, thanks to quick response and action from the police, defense force, ambulance, and the fire branch, along with persons working in the area. Charles Fisher for the ZNS Network News.
In other news, challenges continue in the public education system. And while Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin acknowledges this is not just the case in the Bahamas, the focus is on ironing things out and moving ahead.
I'm very concerned about it and worried to the extent that we are upping our efforts to ensure that we understand the issue fully, we get the data, and that we put in place initiatives or strategies to cause our children to catch up and to be all that they can be. So the learning loss has been a challenge.
The Education Minister insists she's committed to bringing balance to school campuses.
Another challenge that we have found is that there's a lot of energy, and we're trying to see how we can ensure those energies are orderly or organized in how people interact, so that we are able to transition into a very dysfunctional virtual reality or non-attendance to a sense of normalcy, which is getting children back in the classroom. So that's the thing that's on the radar for me right now, ensuring that we create an equilibrium or cause for an equilibrium to be sustained on the campus. And we've been talking about strategies to do that, and that's another thing that's front and center in our concern. We want our children to do well.
Meantime, the government's launched a youth program as part of its overall thrust towards self-sufficiency in agriculture. Palmdale Primary School students given the opportunity to learn while getting their hands dirty. Carl Palmer reports on the educational initiative that jump-started with a commissioning ceremony today.
Today, the greenhouse at Palmdale Primary School is inactive, standing as nothing but mesh and steel. But in the days ahead, those directly benefiting are committed to its growing potential.
With this greenhouse, we realize that there are lots of opportunities. Our students will be sensitized about the importance of becoming self-sufficient, and also they will learn more about farming and integrate that with various aspects in the curriculum, such as growing crops, such as the process entailed in growing plants and seeds. Our students in our 4-H club will also learn about how they can develop more cash crops, those crops that are a little bit more sustainable, those crops that can be grown year-round.
Phyllis Johnson is principal at Palmdale Primary. The greenhouse, she notes, will assist in broadening students' horizon to the many career opportunities available in agriculture.
Students will also now see themselves playing out roles in the future. They will now see these as career opportunities. We have so many students who lean towards wanting to become doctors and lawyers, but there's also a lot of astronomical benefits in the area of farming and fishing.
The greenhouse was made possible by the Member of Parliament for the area school in the Centerville constituency, Jomo Campbell. He also pledged to ensure other public schools in his constituency is gifted one. For him, it's a fulfillment of a campaign promise of education, empowerment, and employment.
What we have here today is a prime example of those words literally bearing fruit. We're educating our students about the necessity of farming. We're empowering them by teaching them and assisting them on how to grow their own food. As we all can see, the food crisis that we're experiencing now across the globe. And hopefully, after hearing the remarks of our very renowned speakers, they will see that there's also room for employment in this industry.
Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Clay Swiding, also committed his assistance to the educational initiative. He's touting the agricultural industry as one still untapped.
It has been a mandate of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries to ensure that food security is paramount in this country. And where do you start? Start from the bottom up.
Principal Johnson says the delivery of the greenhouse is timely, as this month the school is celebrating science and literacy. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th 5th Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Anything you need, we got you covered. Say the word and we'll come through. So if you need coverage for life, choose BAF, they'll get it right. Just go out and do it. It's your life, so just live it. So anything you want, you can get it. It's time to get it right. So we rolling with BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we going with BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we choosing BAF for life. BAF for life. And so we rolling with BAF for life. BAF for life. If you want coverage for life, choose BAF, they'll get it right. Yes, that's the best choice. BAF, that's BAF for life.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Aviation has been around from 1992 in an area far away from most things. In 2018, I picked up the mantle. At the onset I would have taken over, I was connected to Carnival Bahamas, and I'm always trying to enhance my Avery's package. And I wanted to expand my customer satisfaction through technology. Everybody comes in and they want to use the Wi-Fi. They want to be able to go live, show off the food and the ambience and the entertainment. So since I've been using the Aero device, my buffering almost went to zero. There's no interruption in that service, which is phenomenal. I would recommend the Aero device to anyone to use it. It works.
When you testify in court, you're expected to tell the truth. Same goes for your insurance application form. You have to answer every question truthfully and provide all the information requested, or you could be found guilty of misrepresentation. That means your insurance company could deny your policy or refuse to pay your claim. Your insurance company relies on the information you provide to determine whether to issue you a policy. Leaving out just one piece of information could lead to misrepresentation. So read your application form carefully. If you're unsure about anything, ask your insurance agent or broker before completing and signing your insurance application form. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
Now to the latest COVID-19 stats. Eleuthera making its way back on the COVID dashboard after pulling in one new infection overnight. Add to that the 2 new Providence cases recorded, and the country has a total of 3, 2 females, 1 male. Hospitalization still holding firm with 10 COVID patients, one of them on the intensive care unit of the Grand Bahama Health Services. As of March 9th, active cases were at 118 with 22 recoveries. That day also accounted for the completion of 178 RT-PCR tests. The pandemic, meantime, forcing many to tap into their creative side to sustain themselves, like opting to prepare food at home. Well, Deputy Chief Health Inspector Shanti Richards tells us why, in some instances, this poses a problem.
A lot of people has taken upon themselves to start preparing and selling food from their homes. Now, generally, that is not an illegal activity, but you are allowed to do it under certain terms, under certain conditions. And since the COVID, some persons have taken upon themselves to go outside of the boundary and start to sell and prepare and sell food directly from their homes. And we are presently addressing those issues.
Richards, the guest speaker at the Rotary Club of West Nassau meeting Thursday, goes on to explain the protocols that should be followed.
We issue vendors permit from home-based vendors permits for caterers, prepackaged and delivery home food vendors, and one or two others. And persons are not supposed to be entering your home and purchasing food directly at your home, from your home. Now, there are certain premises that where you may have a home and then they may have a piece added on to their home that caters specifically for food preparation and sale. That is differently, but as long as they meet the requirement.
March observed as National Kidney Month, a time to bring awareness to one of the body's most important organs. Those of you who don't know, the kidneys remove waste and extra water from the blood and help keep chemicals such as sodium, potassium, and calcium balanced in the body. The kidneys also make hormones that help control blood pressure and stimulate bone marrow to make red blood cells. Health officials advise that diabetics, those with high blood pressure, or a family history of kidney failure all have increased risk of kidney disease. Meantime, the Bahamas Kidney Association recently kicked off its first major fundraising campaign, which has already generated over $20,000 to reducing kidney failure and improving the lives of those impacted by kidney disease. President Tamika Roberts thanks donors like the Kidney Clinic, Colleen Insurance, Family Guardian, McDonald's, the Walk-In Medical Clinic, among others, for their tangible donation. Kidney Month activities include webinars, complimentary health screenings, a sock giveaway for dialysis patients, and a high school essay competition. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Well, after confirmation from Acting Port Controller Senior Commander Byrne Wright that a Russian tanker had docked in Freeport over the weekend, Minister of Transport and Housing JoBeth Colby-Davis today confirmed she's aware of the vessel's arrival in the Bahamas. It was before this week's cabinet that the Transport Minister was asked about Russian vessels being rerouted to the Bahamas. At the time, she said she couldn't confirm.
The question that was put to me was the ones that were actually on their way and being routed to the Bahamas, and whether I had information regarding that. And I advised that we were following up to determine whether they're actually still proceeding to the Bahamas. We at all times had contact with the Freeport Port and also the vendor and the shipping agent, and they had advised us that one was in port over the weekend. That question was not asked, but the Prime Minister, my cabinet colleagues, and everyone were notified and advised at the same time. The Port Department did advise me that one was here, but the question that was asked was the ones that were on the way, if they still intended to come to the Bahamas, and we were waiting for the shipping agent to confirm. And that afternoon, the shipping agent confirmed with us that they had rerouted and are deciding to go elsewhere, and that is what I answered.
The Bahamas to benefit from new opportunities in agriculture. Fresh off a recent food security summit in Dubai, President of the Bahamas Agricultural and Marine Science Institute, Dr. Recia Hebburn, says local agricultural stakeholders are formulating ties with key leaders in farming and that the prospects for the industry are bright.
We're able to make linkages with universities, not only in the Western Hemisphere, where we have already started, but also in the Eastern Hemisphere, where we have the opportunity for technology transfer, the opportunity for a student exchange program, the opportunity for faculty research collaboration. Those types of things and discussions are what I was able to have with some of the persons at this forum. On occasion, we had connections with UK, with Japan, Australia. Because so many people were from around the world were there, we had an opportunity to start an open dialogue, which we're continuing right now, and trying to see how we could formalize some of these processes, either through MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding, or just a simple exchange agreement.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We are under mostly cloudy skies this evening with a temperature of 79 degrees. Relative humidity, 78%. We have south-southeast winds at 10 miles bar. The barometric pressure, 1,020.4 millibars, is 30.05 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Turtle Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco, the Berry Islands at 78. 80 degrees in Allenstown, Bemini, 78 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 80 degrees. Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space on Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all at 79 degrees. Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rumkey and Georgetown, Exuma at 80 degrees. 80s also in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matthew Town, Inagua, 81, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tower King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands tonight through Friday, tomorrow, southeast to south wind speeds around 10 to 50 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 7:34 this evening. Another low tide at 8:45 tomorrow morning. For the central and southeastern islands into Friday, southeasterly winds a little stronger at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So we will keep the caution flag in place for boaters in the central and southeastern islands through Friday. Now, as we take you into Saturday, there is a frontal system heading our way, so we will see some south to southwest winds picking up in speeds 15 to 20 knots. So we'll post a caution flag on Saturday morning for you boaters in the northwest Bahamas. The wave heights will be building 4 to 6 feet. Low tide on Saturday, 9:45 in the morning. High tide at 3:29 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Saturday, the wind southeast to south at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet, also constituting a caution flag. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Well, anyway, I gonna fall down the road to see if he down this place down the road, and if he down there, there gonna be some problems. Because guess what? I got a headache and I tired mine. Every other night, Andrew would call around 8. Tell him nice little wife he gotta work late.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
And be all that you can be. Don't let no one get in the way of you realizing the talent that God put in your spirit.
There is no boundary to your potential. Keep shining. You can do it. These sentiments were echoed by education ministers, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin and the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, as they spoke to primary school students on the islands of Grand Bahama as they completed a 2-part tour on the island.
From the ecstatic welcome from Martintown Primary onto the spanking bands at Freeport Primary, topping it off with the Junkanoo Rush Out at Jack Hayward Junior High. Hyped energy between the ministers and school staff and students was definitely reciprocated. Jack Hayward Junior High Principal Joyanne Penniman says the minister's visit was timely and meaningful.
Today was awesome. We were very excited and the students were elated to see her. I am so impressed with the way the minister greeted the students. She went into the classroom and even performed a poetry written by Susan J. Wallace, one that she remembers from her childhood, and she was so animated. And then when we took her to the music class, she was just dancing and enjoying Bahamian culture, so the students can see that she is cultural. She is a real person.
We want to say thank you for coming and visiting with us today.
I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
If you like a hearty, meaty burger, the A1 Steakhouse King at Burger King Nassau has it all. With flame-grilled beef, lots of bacon, cheese, and crispy onions on a sesame seed bun, the only thing that can top this is the tangy flavor of A1 steak sauce. The Steakhouse King is a meat lover's dream, and with an ice-cold Pepsi and hot fries, it's all you need to fill your day. Get your A1 Steakhouse King as a combo or part of the new King's Feast, only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday Sports Check. I'm Charles Fisher. Lorenzo Carter is a man of many sports, having represented the Bahamas in many international events. Well, since August of 2021, the 53-year-old has been dealing with kidney issues.
I have one in each kidney, but the problem is they are too big to pass out, and they actually try to pass out. And when they do that, they get stuck in my ureter. And when that happens, I'm not able to pass urine out of my kidney. And if I'm not aware of that, what happens is the urine sits there for a period of time, and then I get an infection. What I had done when I initially got sick, doctors went in and put a stent, which is a tube that would bypass the stone to give me relief, to allow the urine to pass out. What happened, they couldn't remove the stone at the time because I had a really bad infection. And they were supposed to return and then remove the stent, remove the stone. But after 7 months, that still hasn't been done yet. And it's just really, really rough physically having to cope with that in that situation. So I'm really looking to get it resolved so I could get back to my normalcy.
As an active person, this must be trying times.
From August, I haven't been able to go jogging, haven't been able to ride my bike and stuff like that. So I really want to be able to get back and do those things, you know. It has caused me to lose weight, and because I'm losing so much water through urination, it's difficult for me to gain weight at this point until I have this procedure done.
Family and life and good health, something we take for granted, is his main focus right now.
It made me learn to appreciate all these things that I was able to do that I took for granted. It has humbled me, especially when I was bedridden, to realize that, hey, right now you can't even walk out this bed. And I just, contemplated about that and say, you got to give God thanks for giving you the health and strength. It ain't really you. Without God, you can't do anything. During this illness, I had friends that would go walking, and I'd always tease them, walking ain't no exercise, man. You got to go running or go ride your bike or whatever. But now I learned to appreciate them and for their ability, because my ability isn't really normal. And I can't expect people to be me. They have to be them. So it made me learn to appreciate other people.
And sickness brings those together who you think would not.
I had guys that came who I played ball against all my life, and we had fights on the court, during games. But, they are good enough competitors to put that aside and see that this is now a serious situation and still come and contribute and do their part to assist me.
So what's the first thing Carter is going to do when things are good again?
I'm going to jump on my bicycle and take a nice, good, long ride. I was just at the end of the last cycling season and supposing to go off to the Caribbean Championships, and I was so disappointed I wasn't able to do so. I'm going to pick it up right from there. Then softball will be the next thing. I'll be back at my multi-sport tasking, you know, my passion.
From track and field, coaches Andrew Tynes and James Roll visited the Big Yard Andrews recently to lend their expertise to the athletes there. Tynes explained how this all came about.
We traveled to Miramar, Florida, which was 2 weeks ago, and two of the Andrews kids traveled with me. They were lacking a lot of stuff in terms of block work, technical stuff, and things like that. So I was just going down the Andrews just to assist them because I was on vacation, and that turned into something that I was really impressed with. When I got to the track to just help with those two kids, I had about extra 30 kids that showed up, and I ended up doing a clinic on block stats and the abundant talent that I saw down there.
Tynes basically was in the central part of the island and liked what he saw.
Once they get the opportunity, I'm going to be sorry for the kids in the province of Grand Bahama. I'm saying, I mean, especially the girls. The girls are extremely strong, and they just lack the facilities and and just the technical training and the knowledge of how to competition season, all-season training, and peak season.
Jumps specialist Roll was on the northern end of the island.
Traveling down in Andrews was very great. I thought the coaches did a good job with them through the years, and all they did is go on there and try to seek talent in the jumps, and they're very, very great. If they had the training with the Nassau people that will take the Bahamas will have been after years and years and years to go and come. And the athletes are smart. Book smart, and they catch on quick in track and field. I see another Ryan, I saw a guy down there jumping tennis, nearly the Clifton standard under 17. I was amazed by it. I told the lady, I said, don't send them to Nassau. Try see if you get some coaches there to assist you all in the equipment. Keep them home so they could be relaxed and no problem. But they're real good. The whole family island can take track and field to another level if they want to.
This one visit has already caused the baton to be passed on.
All the islands are really asking us to come down and do something with the kids. Because of the pandemic, they say they've lost a lot of the kids, you know what I'm saying, and they need a motivation. And what I did in Andros, most of the coaches from the other islands, they saw that, and immediately I got calls. So we're heading down to Inagua next Friday, and then after that we'll head to Long Island, and after that we'll go to Auckland, and then so on.
Great job, guys. That's going to do it for Sports Thursday. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Top officials of the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute got the opportunity to make numerous international connections while attending the Food for Future Expo and Summit in Dubai recently. So says BAMSI President Dr. Eresia Hepburn.
We actually had an opportunity to speak not only to ministers, but persons in research that are open to partnering with us, to ensuring that our students have an opportunity maybe to come and train with them or at least brief internships. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity for BAMSI. We have the ability now to even grow more. And after listening to our minister, we all know it's better in the Bahamas, but like I love to say, it's best at BAMSI.
Dr. Hepburn says she feels the world is open to BAMSI students.
We've made connections with persons in Japan, the UK. I just had the opportunity to speak to the speaker from Australia, and she was trying to explain some of the scholarship opportunities because, like I said, she only has one small farm and they only do internships once a year, but she gave me some more insight on things that our students may have the opportunity to do. We already set up a Zoom meeting, so what we're going to start to do is start having virtual meetings and see how we could really grow our partnerships with each other.
BAMSI Chairman Tyrell Young says he is delighted that many countries around the world are open to young people joining the agriculture sector.
We know young people are not so enthused to enter this industry. But at the same time, we are finding out that they are the ones who we actually need at this point in time. So we need to take chances as the government agencies. We need to take chances on funding these younger persons in their ideas and take risk.
For Good to Grow, I'm Candia Smith.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate.
We always enjoy being able to get into the community and interact with our customers. Our recent visit here to the Coral Harbor Community Park was a particularly special event as we were joined by members from our parent company, Liberty Latin America and CWC, to further enhance our customers' BTC experience.
Well, you know, this is our second time here in this area, which we call Cabs 1 and Cab 2, but it's the eastern side of Coral Harbor. And so far, customers have been gravitating towards us. Quite naturally, we offer a much more superior experience, better rates, higher internet speeds, and a much better overall experience for them. So we've had a lot of customers come in and take advantage of our services to hear what we have to offer, and also our mobile services as well. So the response has been excellent.
We've been in the Davis Street area. We're going to be in another area, within the end of this week. We've been in this Coral Harbor area. This is our second week here. But we realize that residents, they're keen on getting the service. A lot of them have our competitor and they're not pleased. So we want to make sure that we give them our super fast speeds. And of course, once it's installed, they're happy. We can see it. We're getting the testimonials coming in where people are saying, listen, we're happy that we actually made the switch to BTC.
BTC has done it again. We've brought fiber to Coral Harbor and we're bringing it to your community real soon. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfram. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
If you're looking for great specials, then you should march into your favorite super value and quality supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.59. Seabass tuna, 5 ounce, 2 for $1.98. Olivia vegetable or canola oil, 48 ounce, $4.99. Wild caught salmon, $7.99 per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.89 per pound. Save all March long at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
It's a celebration. The Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Bahamas Turks and Caicos Council is celebrating its 73rd Annual General Convention under the theme, Standing on a Firm Foundation. You're welcome to tune into the rebroadcast of the opening service this Sunday, March 13 at 8 p.m. right here on ZNS Network as we celebrate God's faithfulness. The dynamic speaker is none other than Diocesan Bishop Ellis J. Farrington. It's going to be an impactful service with an awesome worship experience and an edifying word. So tune in this Sunday, March 13, 8 p.m. on ZNS Network and be blessed.
Avery's has been around from 1992 in an area far away from most things. In 2018, I picked up the mantle. At the onset I would have taken over, I was connected to Cable Bahamas, and I'm always trying to enhance my Avery's package. And I wanted to expand my customer satisfaction through technology. Everybody comes in and they want to use the Wi-Fi. They want to be able to go live, show off the food and the ambience and the entertainment. So since I've been using the Aero device, my buffering almost went to zero. There's no interruption in that service, which is phenomenal. I would recommend the Aero device to anyone to use it. It works.
Time now for weather